Good Thursday, everyone. Thanks for stopping by GardenStateWeather.com and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, your source for weather information for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I'm forecaster Robert Smith, and this is the video forecast discussion for Thursday, the 12th of December, 2013. An Arctic front has passed through the region before sunrise this morning. It's now down through the Delmarva region. All the winds are light out of the northwest. And temperatures this morning are recovering from single digits in some spots in Warren County. They're now in the teens to the low and mid-20s everywhere. And there is some light snow that is reaching the ground. In southeastern Pennsylvania around Lancaster, Doylestown has some light snow this morning. Trenton now has a little bit of light snow as of this observation this morning too, to whiten the ground up. Dew points are bone dry at 11, and some of the dew points are in the single digits here. This is very cold Arctic air over the region with mostly clear skies outside of the areas that I just mentioned where there is some light snow falling and actually reaching the ground this morning. Here's the leftover of the clouds from along the Arctic front now, stretching from south of Atlantic City through the northern portions or the southern portions of Delaware into the northern Delmarva. We have a few clouds here across Pennsylvania, mostly clear just about everywhere else. And there is some light snow now that's made its way south and east. It's touching off in Trenton at this hour, and also points of Doylestown and into southeastern Pennsylvania this morning as well. Watches, warnings, and advisories. We do have those for you. Small craft advisories for the Chesapeake Bay, all of the New Jersey coastal waters down through the Delmarva, also the South Shore and east ends of Long Island until 1 o'clock this afternoon, and also the North Shore of Long Island, central and eastern Long Island, the southern portions of Connecticut's coastal waters as well, until this morning at 7 a.m. And this is for northwest winds at 15 to 25 knots and choppy seas at 2 to 4 feet with that Arctic air mass that's now invading the region once again. For the aviational deck today, it's VFR conditions outside of a little light snow this morning. Doylestown has a little light snow and a little fog this morning. Temperature there is 20 degrees. Northwestern New Jersey up at Sussex, it's 19 this morning with clear skies. Forecast going out of Newark today, basically a few scattered clouds at about 8,000 feet, some choppy air too. Northwest winds 13 gusts to 19 knots this morning. Some scattered clouds at around 4,000 feet this afternoon, and again late tonight into early tomorrow morning. Just basically a northwest wind at around 10 knots or so. And the VFR conditions over the forecast route today, tonight, and tomorrow. For Philadelphia, the same kind of thing this morning. It's 26 degrees. The skies are basically clear. There's a few clouds at around 6,000 feet. Wind chill is 16. It's cold out there. Some scattered clouds at 5,000 early today. Maybe a light snow shower passing southwest over the region during early this morning. With a little bit of overcast skies. Gusty winds out of the northwest, 12 gusts up to 20 knots. Scattered clouds at around 5,000 feet late this afternoon. The winds die off, become more westerly at around 10 knots, and then high clouds begin to move in, scattered in variety at 10,000 feet early tomorrow morning with the wind basically out of the west at around 10 knots. VFR conditions with increasing cloud cover across the route from southwest to northeast during tomorrow afternoon. Active pattern going ahead into the weekend. We've got a storm system which will be redeveloping here along the mid-Atlantic coast states. It's a large view of the water vapor imagery this morning. High pressure along the west coast and Intermountain region. We have our traffic cop here, the upper low cutoff across southeastern California. Very strong subtropical jet stream. Moving in towards Texas and then off of the southeast coast. And a disturbance in the polar branch here driving south and east through the Dakotas this morning. This disturbance here and the development over here is going to cause a surface low to develop across the Midwest, right up along the interior portions here of the Ohio Valley, and then redevelop off the mid-Atlantic coast states during the day on Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, and then race off into the southern New England coastal waters of the Atlantic on Sunday morning. We've got a lot of weather to talk about because this is going to be a pretty dynamic storm in terms of overrunning and potential for significant snowfall, moderate snowfall across certain regions, and we'll talk about that in a moment. There's a lot to talk about this morning, so get your coffee ready because we're in for a significant weather event here in the form of winter weather over the weekend here. And I'm going to break this down a little bit. I'm going to use the CMC model, which is the Canadian model, as well as the European and somewhat of the GFS and the NAM model too. We'll take a different approach this morning. I think this model agrees more with my thinking at this point, and we'll go ahead and present this to you. This is the precipitation forecast for the next 60 hours, and we'll just move this ahead here and animate this. High pressure over the region this morning with some snow plumes coming off the Great Lakes. High pressure continues to build in across the eastern United States. Somewhat of an upper trough here, snowflakes here, and snow plumes coming in from, stop this here for a minute, coming in from off the Great Lakes. I'm a little cloudy this morning, folks. I'm sorry about that. I have a deep amount of congestion going on here. Okay, as we get through the period on Friday, clouds will begin to increase from southwest to northeast, and most of Friday should be fairly dry and sunny, absolutely, completely so. But as we get through Friday night and Saturday, that's where things begin to change. Clouds rapidly increase, and then we have that disturbance here developing across the Tennessee River Valley on the southern jet stream, interacting with the polar and Arctic stream that we have here. Polar Arctic stream is further to the north, but we're definitely in an Arctic air mass here across the New Jersey, New York City metropolitan area, the Philadelphia area too. Overrunning, we've seen this before in the last two snow events. This one is going to be a little bit more impactful for most of the region, and the reason why is because it's a larger system that will be impacting the region, and it's much more overrunning that will be occurring in the frozen zone here. We've got good frontage genetic banding, I think, that's going to form across central New Jersey into interior Connecticut, and it's this area here that I think is going to receive the most snow from this. So let's see if we can move this forward here. As we get through the day on Saturday, this would be Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon, here comes the moderate to heavy snow breaking out from Philadelphia through Trenton, through northern New Jersey into the city. This model, I think, agrees with the idea that European and somewhat the NAM is going towards. We're going to see a band of moderate to heavy precipitation break out as this low begins to deepen over the coastal waters, where water temperatures are in the 40s and 50s and interior temperatures are in the teens and 20s. Yes, upper teens is still possible north of 84 into Sussex County and over the border here into upstate New York. Temperatures elsewhere will be in the 20s as the snow really gets going. And because we're in an Arctic air mass here, the amount of precipitation could be approaching a half of an inch to an inch in spots throughout the entire storm. But what's most impressive here is the snow ratios. We could be dealing with snow ratios anywhere from 10 to 15, even 17 to 1, and that's going to make the snow a bit more fluffier and accumulate rapidly during Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening across and north of 78 and west of 287 and west and along Route 80 as well into Pennsylvania. As we get through the evening hours, the damage will be done because even if we do have some mixing with warming air aloft and ocean influence here from off the Atlantic, some sleet will get in here and then some rain and freezing rain. I still like the idea that most of this will be in the form of snow north of 78 and west of 287, and the snow really could be coming down. We're dealing with some moderate snow here. That could be 5 to 7 inches, maybe even higher where the banding sets up. And as we go through the period where the band sets up, the moderate to heavy snow then moves out of northeastern New Jersey and north of New York City over the bridges into southern and central Connecticut during the period. And the precipitation will probably wind down very early on Sunday morning, but the damage will probably already be done with moderate snow across those aforementioned areas and a mixture of sleet further south along the turnpike there, and of course changing to some sleet and rain in the Philadelphia metro area too. Now, the National Weather Service in New York City is pretty confident on higher amounts, the ones that I just mentioned over the interior here on Saturday afternoon through Saturday night. Not as clear along the coast and of course south of the turnpike through central and southern New Jersey, where the mixture and then change over to rain is going to be a very dynamic storm in terms of temperature and type of precipitation. But for my forecast area, I'm pretty confident in the higher snow ratios and the higher snow amounts with snow banding as the system really begins to ramp up off the coastline here during Saturday night and Sunday morning. GFS into motion now, again, focusing on the precipitation type. This is Saturday morning. Notice our high pressure over Montreal and southeastern Canada with a cold air damming signature once again showing up on the forecast charts here, and our low pressure system from the southern stream here interacting with the polar and Arctic stream. Low pressure moving up across the Tennessee River Valley and then eventually redeveloping off the mid-Atlantic coast. We could have some moderate snow around here come late Saturday afternoon, right through the rush hour, not rush hour, but through Saturday night. And this could remain all snow in the areas mentioned, with pretty hefty amounts coming down. So it's plowable snow for sure. We're not sure how much mixing is going to get in and how far inland the mixing gets around the turnpike and into central and coastal New Jersey before it changes over to rain during Saturday night, or freezing rain. And the temperatures really are going to be a big problem because they could remain in the lower 20s when it's snowing very hard, or the mid 20s inland during Saturday evening and Saturday night, and then ending probably as just a little bit of light snow or light drizzle or freezing drizzle across the region as that storm exits very quickly on Sunday morning. But by then, the damage is already going to be done. This is our first guest initial feeling on the storm. Moderate to heavy snow falling across Trenton north to just east, to the west rather, of 287 and north of 78 here. And that would be during the afternoon on Saturday evening, probably remaining as all snow. Points to the south of 78, probably snow, and then mixing a little bit. We could find a heavy mixture of sleet and a narrow line down towards Philadelphia, and then rain on the southern tip of New Jersey by Saturday night. But everybody should start off at least as snow, quickly mixing and changing over in the southern region, central and southern New Jersey. And it's going to be quite a variable spread here between the snowfall amounts, ice, and then eventually just rain along the immediate southeast New Jersey coastline. And of course, we'll be monitoring all of this in live feed during the weekend as well. And of course, all that information will be available, as it always is, on the website. There's a lot of information I really wanted to share, and I know the video didn't really come out the way that I normally do them, but as I said, I'm not really feeling up to it this morning, but trying to get into it with several cups of coffee on the burner there. And of course, we'll be monitoring all of this in real-time feed with live coverage beginning set up on Friday night on the websites, both websites, GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. We'll be back with further details tonight with a special evening edition of the video and updated thoughts with the snowfall map tonight on Thursday night, and again bright and early tomorrow morning. And again, live coverage goes into effect tomorrow night and streams right through the weekend. For Garden State Weather and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, I'm forecaster Robert Smith. You make it a good Thursday, and do be safe out there. Bundle up.